Well, welcome everybody to the NASCAR Chat Series All-Star Open. Now, last year, this was filled with nothing but real-life drivers to determine who was going to be in the chat-only field for the All-Star race. This year's winners and last year's winners, points race, non-points race, made it automatically this year. And this field is comprised of, well, everybody else. Sterling Marlin, with a nice time in qualifying, sets the pole of a competition caution on lap 30. And with 20-some second laps, this race is going to go by quick. Even this first little bit, going to go by very quick. Competition caution at lap 30, simply because we want to have a little bit of possible oddities when it comes to pit strategy. Give everybody a little bit of something to think about here. Sterling Marlin, Tony cannot lead the field to green for the All-Star Open. Well, it was lap 2, and we already saw some problems between Miss Airy and Dale Earnhardt Jr. They got into the... Miss Airy's fine, but Jr. tapped the wall pretty good. Don't see any visible damage on that number 8 car, so we'll see if they're able to figure it out. Maybe that right side looks a little bit caved in, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. still got the speed to get around Miss Airy. Back up at the front of the field, Sterling Marlin, off the drop of the green flag, has already built almost a half-second lead over the number 14 of D. Kuzmic. Top 7 advance as Dale Earnhardt Jr., after that contact with Miss Airy, has entered the pit lane. I don't think we're going to be seeing Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the All-Star race. He never had very good luck in that race anyway. Well, already 5 laps in, Marlin continuing to pull away. And it's going to be that lap 30 competition yellow, where I believe I selected that caution laps do not count, which is what's even more troubling for Dale Earnhardt Jr. And anybody that might not have the pace here today, is that when you don't count caution laps, there are no free passes. There are waiver rounds, but no lucky ones. So you've got that to be concerned about. I mean, even cars all the way back, like Miss Airy, Ken Schrader, TJ, 7 seconds off the pace already. Not good for them. Field. D. Kuzmic in the 14. He was a member of the inaugural NASCAR Chat Series season. He bounced around to like 3 different car numbers early on, looking pretty good to make the All-Star race. Tony Kanaan in his debut season in the NASCAR Chat Series. El Jefe in behind. Be good to see Jeff make it and get a new non-points race ace in El Jefe, who's been looking for a win for so long. Brayton Laster is in a position to advance at the moment, as is Caleb. Strong qualifying effort, only down 1 spot from the start. And the TBNR cars, who I'd say of the chatters that deserve to be there, he's certainly one of them. One that does not is the 32. That is B $, who is actually bested in points by the car behind him, the 47 of Team Quentin, who has run just 2 compared to the 4 races that B $, has run. Austin in the 19 probably wants to start and park the All-Star Open just so there's no chance that he even makes it in. John Force is going to have some work to do. Red Wings, who's not had a good year. rookie in Oraman in the 4 car. Watching his teammate be up front, an all-star qualifying position in the 14 right now. Aiden, who will try to make the all-star race for the first time, at least if memory serves us correctly. Joe Nemechek, again speaking of Timo Quinton, in the 47, run 2 races. He has as many points as Joe Nemechek. LW right out here in the field really hasn't had as bad of a year as you might expect LW to do. Snead, Indy 500 winner of a year ago. Month of May has been kind to him. Another rookie in TJ back in 18th. Miss Airy making the pass of Ken Schrader, only to get gotten back by Uncle Kenny. As we head back up to the top of the field is Sterling Marlin. Has stretched this lead to now over a second. Got a car in his sights trying to put him a lap down already. That'd be Dale Earnhardt Jr., who's multiple laps down. There are no faster pairs here for the All-Star Open, so you better stay out of trouble. And now, if you so choose, there are 2 debris yellows to be used for this race. I really wanted to add some intrigue, but again, you're going to get a caution in 15 laps anyway. Caleb has fallen back down into 7th, right on that bubble. Don't let Dollar$, Caleb, please do not let $, bump you out of the All-Star race field. The guy's got like 47 points through 4 races, which is embarrassingly bad. Well, sure you do. It's you at the end of the day. Very much is an AI series. Sterling Marlin in the 40 is piecing out. Which again, you know, obviously everybody that's in this race would like to win this race. But the win isn't necessarily what matters. And given that we qualify for the All-Star race anyway, just to have a randomly selected pole sitter, everyone else, position by position, shuffled to the back. What I'm trying to say is finishing position for this race, as long as you're inside the top 7, doesn't particularly matter. I have no idea how long a fuel run here at Dover would be. Given that it's only a 60-lap race here in the All-Star Open, you do wonder if everyone's just going to take fresh tires at the halfway point anyway, but I'd be interested to see if anyone wants to chance it. Anyone at the back of the field. Full fuel run of 59 laps would be hilarious. However, the bad news is, with that competition yellow, would add absolutely 0 incentive to try and pit. Now, you wonder if Sterling is using up his stuff a little bit too much here. Seems to be running much, much harder than the rest of the field. I like to think that maybe at some point, 2nd or 3rd place, Steve Kuzmic, Tony Kanaan might start to eat into that gap a little bit. We have a battle going on for 2nd place. Kanaan trying to get around the outside of the 14. Kanaan looking for his qualifying position. Sat on the front row, Sterling Marlin. A 7/10 of a second gap between Caleb and $, for that final transfer spot. Caleb not in immediate danger yet. Obviously, we'd like to see him keep it that way. This really is the spot where most of the intrigue is for this race. Maybe we sit here primarily until we have a battle for the lead. Think you need a new scheme? Why? What's wrong with this one? does look a little bit closer. It's bad luck. Yes and no. Think back to Gran Turismo. You did win races driving Michigan State colors there. Kanad is starting to make up some ground on the leader in Sterling Marlin. John Daly sponsorship. I'll tell you what, could be a lot worse. It could be your teammate right now. Nowhere to be found, and the 45 is going to be one of those cars that is certainly going to need to pull off something during the competition yellow to really have a chance here. Who's the unfortunate, oh well, I was going to say, who's the unfortunate soul that's sitting in last place off the ticker? That's, of course, Dale Earnhardt Jr. Back up. The battle for 7th. Looks relatively unchanged from when we were here last, as we are closing in on that lap 30 yellow flag. Be a bad time to have a bad pit stop, I'll tell you that much. Well, we are one lap away from our competition yellow. Sterling Marlin, all he's got to do is cross the line, take lap 30, and we'll call that yellow flag. Pit strategy about to be real interesting, maybe, possibly, as Sterling Marlin leads all of the first 30 laps. Oh, we have a good chunk of cars that have stayed out. Wow. The field has really split here. I mean, honestly, do you know what? It's the Hail Mary cars at the back. It's 15th on back. All right, not as much pit road action as we were expecting. Smeed, TJ, Ken Schrader, Aiden, LW Wright, and Miss Airy come down pit road for fresh tires. I don't even know if you need to take fuel. There'll be some intrigue at the back. They're going to have a lot of traffic to get through. Dale Earnhardt Jr. Pitted a lap later, being a lap down, multiple laps down. We're about to head back to green. Here in the All-Star Open, Sterling Marlin has led every lap to this point. It is more or less, at least on the front row, as we started. Marlin and Kanad as we're back to green and over. Tell you what, back in the spot of interest, I tell you what, those cars on the inside, it's not going all that well for him. Caleb's back into 9th place, has been freight trained a little bit. Now the new transfer spot is Brayton Laster up on the high side, so him and Caleb battle. As the 32 just snuck right on by. I'm also going to say that we apparently did not turn do not count caution laps on, because, well, in some we have 25 to go, problems behind, right? Did we see that correctly? Apparently we kept everything off the wall. I don't know. Let's also do this so the ticker looks proper. We'll have to go back and check that. Man, it looked like somebody got turned around, but apparently that is not the case. I swear I saw somebody heading head first into the wall. Cars that took tires are not making any progress as of yet. Pace is not quite there at the moment. Need to find something here. And I think you're making progress in doing so. At least getting back to that high line and not stuck down there in the bottom. Didn't feel like there was any speed to be had there. So now the transfer spot is Oraman. He's in a battle with Great Blaster. John Force lurking in behind. We're about to have a 3-wide battle for the lead. Force just bullies his way in. That'll open the door right back up for Caleb. 4 cars battling for 1 spot with 21 to go. Well, at least they were. They're going to let the 4 peace out a little bit in his rookie year trying to make the All-Star race. Caleb will move to the outside of Force. Almost some contact back there between Austin and Caleb. And now I'm starting to see he's up a couple spots from the start or after the competition yellow. The 00 of Smee is coming. Saw Caleb get a little loose in 1 and 2. Smee trying to turn it on. Sari also making moves, but not a lot of time left to go. Only 19 laps to go. Sterling Marlin is back out to a 1-second lead. Caleb at least earned some separation from that battle. That 00 charging hard. Back up to the actual transfer spot. That's the 4 of Oraman. Braden Laster in tow. 17 laps to go. Deep Kuzmic back around Tony Kanaan as they battle for second place again. View right there, that there, kind of gives you a good look in terms of what Smee is going to have to overcome to make this All-Star race field. There are debris cautions available, yes. There are 2 of them. Cutoff is 5 laps to go. Now, granted, now that we know that caution laps aren't counted, there's not a lot of time to get something done, but you could at least re-rack everybody and try that way. Brayton Laster trying to make the move on the 4. He's doing it. Smee has gotten around Caleb. Now we're 3 wide again with Force. They're trying to give you a caution of their own. And the yellow will come out. Well, we're about to have a 10-lap sprint to the finish of the NASCAR Chat Series All-Star Open. Sterling Marlin has led every lap to this point. And remember, top 7 advance. One to be voted in after the race to make a field of 20 for this Saturday's NASCAR Chat Series All-Star Race. Watching the 35, even his teammate in the 45. They're actually side by side back there now. And of course, on fresher tires is the 00 of Smee, which is a little bit terrifying. As we head back to green, what is likely the final time. Sterling Marlin, Tony Kanaan will take the green flag again. back. The 89 of TBNR Cars makes a move for second. The first car that isn't the 11 or the 14 that's been in second position all day. And the 89 is coming on strong here. Nobody has been able to challenge the 40 to this point. Again, important to remember that it's not necessarily the win that matters here. Problems behind, and the yellow is out. The 45 got wrecked by somebody. There's multiple cars involved in that back there. Through 3 and 4 here, the 45 splits Force and Laster here in the middle and wrecked himself. Oh my goodness, what a pile up here. One small incident that should have never been that turned into damage for like 7 cars. This is on board with Ken Schrader as the debacle happens in front, and Dale Jr. up in the air. Uncle Kenny comes piling in. A lot of real NASCAR vets mixed up in that, as well as the 32, who was in the transfer spot not that long ago. Well, for Dale Earnhardt Jr., his race was already over with, but this will really put an end on it. And he was the one that really just came pounding in there and almost got sent up and over by Joe Nemechek. Well, I can't say I was expecting a crash here in the All-Star Open today, but that's what we got. Multi-car incident that has put Caleb, Timon Quinton, B. Dollarsign in the pit lane repairing damage. The 45 who started this whole mess is running with damage. Dale Earnhardt Jr., who almost went up and over, he's running with damage. What a bizarre end to this All-Star Open. Our first caution for cause, as Mike Joy would say. This time, it is Sterling Marlin and TBNR Cars to take us back to green. We will have 4 laps to go in the Open. Yellow flag from here would just about certainly end it, and it would finish under yellow. The 89 showed some good speed on that last one. Can he replicate it again? So far, no, and I'll tell you what, we really need a couple of cars in the back to start making a run, because the 0 of Smee, the double 0, is about to make the All-Star race. Got real problems here, guys. We can't keep letting Smee get these opportunities, man. 1 lap, a lap and a half in, and by over a second, Sterling Marlin has pulled away, trying to lead every lap of the Open. TBNR Cars in second. It was Ken Schrader in the wall back there. Schrader, or rather Marlin, absolutely going to make it into this race. Look at Miss Airy with a chance. The transfer spot is the 4. Could make a decision much easier for us as the 17 is trying to get through. But so is the 87 of Joe Nemechek, who has fresher tires than the 17 car. The 45 all banged up from a wreck that he caused. This is indeed the finish of the NASCAR Chat Series All-Star Open. Missouri trying to make a move. And how about the run from John Force, who makes the field over Missouri, who finishes 8th. Sterling Marlin is your All-Star Open winner, with TBNR Cars, Smee, Tony Kanaan, Deke Kuzmic, Joe Nemechek, and John Force making the All-Star race field. we're going to have decisions to make here. And for those in the YouTube crowd afterwards, you won't know the results until you see the race on Saturday, live here on Twitch, or after the fact. But Miss Airy in the 17, valiant run here at the end of this race to try and surpass her teammate in the 16 car and the 16-time NHRA Funny Car Champion here at the end of the Open, but was unable to do so. It certainly gave it a go. I mean, mid-corner, moved up to the high side, tried to get something going on the 16, and was just unable to do it. And actually, I think had a good run here. Now, it's a good thing we didn't see the 45 make it after the melee that he caused. But yep, it was this close at the line between the two, just about a car length separating. And with another lap, I mean, this area's to the inside. Almost certainly would have gotten that done. But the winner of the All-Star Open led every one of the 60 laps in this race is the number 40 of Sterling Marlin, who makes the All-Star race field. TBNR cars, Smee, Tony Kanon, D. Kuzmic, Joe Nemechek, and the aforementioned John Force.